you and what I'm creating there. So, here we go. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can. Okay. I can hear you, Miss Lena. Are you okay to be recorded?
Absolutely. I was trying to. I did finally get the screen to rotate.
Okay.
Did I just close it?
Get that turned off yet? You can just close it.
Nope. I need you to tell me one more time. I promise you, I'm like so not tech savvy.
Okay, so I'm going to do it on my phone at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and do exactly what you're doing, which is tapping on Instagram.
Yeah, I did all that stuff, and I got the screen to turn. I just couldn't figure out how to turn the sound off on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm going there now. So that
I gotcha. You probably told me right. I'm just...
It's easy for me to go and do it at the same time.
Gotcha.
So, here we are. We're on here. We got it going. We got purple sound now. So I'm Xing out of the live chat for one to make it a little bit bigger. And then, oh, just kind of right back. Come on. You were right. I'm not finding it. Something on there.
Maybe it's a phone thing. Probably on the computer I can turn it off, but maybe not on the phone.
Autoplay. That's not what we want. Yeah, I'm wondering if we can't do it on the phone.
Yeah, so maybe we can, and that's okay. Now that I found you and I'm following you on YouTube, though, I actually could go in here and turn it on Alexa, and then I could turn the sound down.
Oh yeah, that could work. That could work.
Okay. Well, I'll keep watching. Yeah, I probably could see it better on the Alexa too, but I can see it. We'll work with it.
Elaine, I'm up.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine.
Elaine, I'm up.
So I'm gonna let her get set up, and Patrice, I'll let you talk in the room.
I'm there.
Hold on, I'm definitely on YouTube. My Facebook didn't come up fast enough. There we go. Now you're live. All right. This is my intro to it. Let me make my screen so I can see comments.
Can you see me, Patrice? I did comment.
Where, on YouTube? Or are you on Facebook?
I'm on YouTube.
No, I don't have my YouTube up. I can. Here I miss. I see you. Here I miss.
Okay, we are live.
Here
I'm
I
looking
miss.
at you from the Alexa. I can see it really good.
I see you. Here I miss.
Okay, we are live.
Here I miss. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionately known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionately known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionately known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionately known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionately known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionately known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionately known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionately known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionately known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionally known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionally known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionally known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionally known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionally known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionally known as Nikki. Here I am here on YouTube and Clubhouse. For those that just followed for the very first time, my name is Patrice Green. I'm affectionally known as Nikki. Here I am here on Patrice, I'm going back to creating.
Instead of
Patrice, I'm
watching,
going back
sorry
to
about
creating.
that. I had to instead of
Patrice, I'm
watching,
going back
sorry
to
about
creating.
that. I had to instead of
Patrice, I'm
watching,
going back
sorry
to
about
creating.
that. I had instead of
Patrice, I'm
watching,
going back
sorry
to
about
creating.
that. I had instead of
Patrice, I'm
watching,
going back
sorry
to
about
creating.
that. I had instead of
Patrice, I'm
watching,
going back
sorry
to
about
creating.
that. I had instead of
Patrice, I'm
watching,
going back
sorry
to
about
creating.
that. I had instead of
Patrice, I'm
watching,
going back
sorry
to
about
creating.
that. I had instead of
Patrice, I'm
watching,
going back
sorry
to
about
creating.
that. I had instead of all you do is just write it.
Patrice, I'm going back
Sorry
to
about
creating.
that. I had instead of all you
Patrice,
do
can also be used on
is just
social
write it.
media.
Sorry about that. I had instead of all you
Lyric can
do
also be used on
is just
social
write it.
media.
Sorry about that. I had instead of all you
And lyric
do
can also be used on
is just
WhatsApp.
write it. Sorry about that. I had instead of all you
And lyric
do
can also be used on
is just
WhatsApp.
write it. Sorry about that. I had instead of all you do
And lyric can also be used on
is just
WhatsApp.
write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had
Everyone's getting ready to have a
color
party.
schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had
Everyone's getting ready to have a
color
party.
schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had
Everyone's getting ready to have a
color
party.
schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had
Everyone's getting ready to have a
color
party.
schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had color schemes. Instead of all you do is just write it. Sorry about that. I had
I have both of them. I have feedback. I put both of them on there, and they give me feedback. That's why I came out of the room to make sure that it's not because I was inside of here.
Do you have both of the audio on YouTube and Facebook?
Not at the same time. I tested both of them separately.
Are you getting feedback still now?
Hold on, let me close my mic here and listen.
Okay. Because if so, I'll close one, which is not a problem, and we'll see what happens from there. But I'm going to keep speaking because there's a couple folks in the room. So, sorry about that, guys. So, okay. So let us finish. Apologize.
It's actually better now, Patrice.
Thank you kindly, ma'am. That's why we have people like that. Important to have. All right, so let's go back to creating this invitation.
It's better now. And Dina, I'm a Samsung girl, but I have the iPad.
All right. So, anywho, we're going to do this. So I wanted a soft blue background to indicate, hey, we already know she's having a boy, and this is what we're going to do. So she wanted bears. So in the template area here, you want to write bears. Now, you can be that vague and write bears, and you're going to get these things going on here. You're going to get the actual bears, a bunch of bears, a little bit of bears, bear print, like anything that's bear. So if you didn't implicate or write specifics of what kind of bear you wanted, this is the kind of stuff you're going to get. So let's just pick one for conversation. I like this guy right here. I'm into the cute and cuddly because that's what I do. He's my bear. He's going to be my guy. So we can do anything with this guy right here. We can make him any kind of way. So what I did is this is just a duplicate basically, or a backwards response of what I did. She wanted balloons. So you can do balloons. You can do balloons in any kind of way. So Canva's pretty clear about just writing exactly what you want. And in the midst of writing exactly what you want, this is how you can do it. So we could say we could do this with him, which I don't like. It's the only thing about creating live, buddy. Those don't fit him. So let's just do an archway. Let's just keep it simple, right? That's the biggest thing about design. A lot of people think you have to make such a big deal out of the design, but you really don't. You can keep life very simple and go from there. So we want to angle it here. We want to bring him to the front so he's not in the actual lines of the balloon strings. I don't see any other kind of balloons that I would add for that. Or let's see if we can find bear with arms up. If I could type, we're great. No. These look kind of scary. Be careful what you ask for, right? Can't put this on an invitation. Let's just do exactly what I did with her. Sorry, guys. I can't. My mind is blown today. Teddy bear and bubbles. Or bath. See, like these are a little bit more cuddly. You know. So let's see. Let's go back to my elements. Let's see exactly what we called him. Here's my guy. He's a pro option. So he's a baby shower bear. So here's my baby shower bear.
I actually met someone whose name was Lucky, and that's the only reason you
They're quite loud. Sorry about that, guys. Here's my baby shower bear. I thought he was stinking adorable. You can kind of see some of the stuff I use, but I'm going to walk you through it so that you're able to kind of create it on your own. So he's a baby shower bear. Let's write that and see what happens. Baby shower bear. So he's got several different friends over here. These are all pro. If you don't know what pro is, if you can see my screen, there's a PRO with a crown, which means that he is actually part of the the paid service here on Canva. Okay? So here's my buddy. He's got his hair all soapy. He's ready to go. You can also, if you like this particular artwork for your publication or your invitations, you can also save it. You can see all, where underneath you'll see things from this particular artist. And then these are other bears that person has created. These are actually really, really cute. I know I've got more invitations to make, but this is really, really cute. So let's keep the theme going. I like the bear. I like the teddy bear and the duck. So let's make the duck. Let's keep the duck in the picture. He's a great additive. Let's put him down here on the floor. Right? So what else is used? Keep your themes. Remember, it's always 3 things in your design. It's your background, your picture, and your fonts. So you want to make sure if you want to put a picture together, you keep the font and the picture all together so that everything makes sense and tells the story. So next, I wanted soap. So I wanted to have some soap. And the soap, boom, came up. So the soap has the same type of texture as the bath. Like if you notice, the bathtub has the same structure. So does the ducks. They all have the same structure. So that's what you want to do. You don't wish to buy, click this kind of bar soap because it doesn't fit. Right? So be mindful as to what you're picking so that you're able to actually, see what's going on there. Sorry. All right. So now I wanted to add some pizzazz behind it. So let's do some bubbles because he's in the tub. I know I liked bubbles. Maybe you guys like bubbles. So these were the bubbles that I chose to do. Now with these types, when you see the point here, and these edges, it then allows. Really quick, are you still live creating in yours? If anybody wants to watch and follow along inside your PNG. I am on Facebook and I am on I'm on Clubhouse. I'm on Facebook and YouTube. I'm doing the recreation of the baby invitation with little differences of things. So we're talking as usual. My main 3 points of any type of publication is always your background, your pictures, and your font. So because we're talking about the texture of pictures, when you put them into your design, like you don't want to have a 4K type picture with the watercolor because it won't work. So that's what we're currently talking about now. So if you're following, you see me doing the bubbles that we want to have laying in the background since the bear is at the shower. So I'm going to add 2 of these and make it so there is bubbles all in the room. You can easily push this picture behind him so he looks like there is bubbles all over the room, and most little mischievous babies, this is what they do. So this was part of the baby shower. Cindy Lou, let me know when you're jumping back in so I'll be quiet. This is some of the things that you can do with the baby shower invitation. So I wanted to take it a step further, and I wanted to have a different type of font. The fonts here on Canva, you have 3 different sizes. However, I would stay uniform. Don't have anything in your publication more than 3 different types of fonts. Otherwise, it'll be too confusing, and you'll risk the I can't even use I'm not even words right, but basically you'll lose your audience in reading 3 or 4 different 4 or 5 different fonts, trying to get it together, and then make sure your hardcore information. So if you're selling anything, you want to make sure that is very clear. You want to use a no scripted type font. You want them to understand where they need to register, what the dates are, and also how they can get connected with you. I've seen it one time too many where people are using like this scripted font and you're spelling stuff wrong, and then they wonder why their sales are low. It's like because no one can read it. So be mindful of that when you're doing those type of publications. So if you have any questions during this, I am more than willing to answer them for you. Or if you have a comment, or if you want to do a one-on-one, I'm available for all of those before the first week of November. Because after that, I'm doing some editing and video in Puerto Rico. So yeah. So now we're going to work on, since we have our picture, we have our add-ons, as well as we have little texture to the background. Now, mind you, all this can be done even with a free subscription to Canva. I'm not giving anything hard. It's not a lot of work. It's right now we're only working on 5 different elements. Right now, it's the bear. He was already pre-cut, and inside of Canva, we added a duck, we added a bar of soap, and bubbles. That's it. You don't have to make this harder than what it is. You type in the search bar pretty much what you need, and Canva can kind of help you navigate. There's also little keywords that may be in the picture that you want so that you can get a better result of what you want. A lot of people don't take advantage of that. So in this case, we're doing fonts. So we're just saying Jack and Jill's having a baby. This is where you're only using 3 different types of font to make your point across. So you can use capitals. I like to use lowercase for certain things. Jack and Jill. If I could spell today, we'd be great. Sorry for the keyboard sound. So we write Jack and Jill can, and we're going to make Jack and Jill, since we have a color scheme to keep float with, we're going to do that. We're going to change it. Right now, we just have it as the same. We're going to keep it as the same font. I don't care for this particular font. I'm going to find a straight lace font. I like to use Times New Roman with this particular one because it gives a softer feel. But Canva has over, I don't know, about 400 or 500 different types of font. With Canva, you can also add in, like if you see this section here for me, it says uploaded fonts. These are fonts that I've uploaded for previous projects. And of course, you can keep reusing them and reusing them for whatever you want. They print out just as clear as any other font that was already uploaded into Canva. So don't be afraid. There's other options besides what you see there. So let's move this over, and I'll show you why I'm going to do it this way if my cursor wants to work right. Jack and Jill, and this is what I did for her. And we write here. Barely wait. Now that looks horrible. That doesn't look very eye-catching and things like that, but that's the beauty of using 3 or 4 different fonts. I'm sorry, 2 or 3 different fonts, not 4. 4 is a bit much. But using this many fonts can actually make a punch to where you want them to be driven. So the idea of it is barely waits, right? So you want to drag the thought of barely waits. So you don't have to necessarily highlight it. I like to do it for making sure it's where it is. And this one I'm using the playful script just to add a little dramaticism to the actual publication. Jack and Jill is excited. However, it's the barely waits that you want to draw more information to. I don't know what just happened to my stream on Facebook, but we're going to keep going because I'm still going. There it is. Facebook's back up with me. All right, so we want to add this as a different color. You may even want to make it bigger. We can barely wait. So we highlight it all. Now when you're doing the colors, you do have to use highlight because otherwise it may or may not grab everything depending on where the previous cursor was. But to be sure, this is what you want to do. Hey everyone, baby shower time. Yeah, no more than 3. No more than 3 fonts. So you can use here on the left hand side, if you see it, it says photo colors. Now what it did is it gave a brand palette. The brand palette is when they take from whatever pictures you have so that you can keep your brand colors together. So in this particular time, it is the yellow and the powder blue and the blue from the bubbles is what they took from the bear, the duck, and the bubbles. So now I'm just going to focus on the same color as my duck as to bring out the pop of the barely waiting. Also in Canva, they've made a gorgeous, and I'm so happy for them because I used to take so much time. I'm so into layering. You can now do it with just the click of a button. I used to layer the words. Layering at that time was like something like this. You make it twice. You make one color like this, and then you had to try to figure out how to make it work. It was doing the most. So now we don't have to do that. Thank you so much, Canva. If no one else has told you, I appreciate you. Now I got to get it from back there. All right, there we go.
I didn't know they were coming to my life. Oh, the joys. Every week I think it's going to go smooth this week, and I know.
All right, so I thought Cindy Lou was talking to me. So we're having it here. So that's our barely wait. So we want to go to the effects tab. Now the effects happens to have 8 different ones that we can use. For something like this, I would love to use shadow. Reason why we're using shadow is shadow adds just a hint to make it bolder. And that's what you want because your emphasis on barely wait to go with the theme of the invitation, right? So we're barely waiting. And then we're going to finish out with the same size font as before. So you can just click it to copy it and just change what the information is on the inside. Staggering is a great way to add a little dramaticism to your publication. So don't worry. You can always move it, make things bigger. Don't be afraid to actually go over the actual main picture just a little bit. It just depends on how you have it. To meet you. So you can have something like that. Like barely weights can be bigger.
I think she's plugged in on the computer. Nikki?
Yes.
Ah, there she is.
I'm sorry. Was I too loud?
No, you're good. No, you're fine. We just couldn't figure out why you couldn't hear Miss Cindy Lou. Can you hear Miss Cindy Lou now?
Yeah, I hear her now. I heard her a second ago. That's why I was trying to be quiet because I wasn't sure if she was talking.
Yeah, I was trying to see if Dina had any last questions. She's on that, so never mind.
Say that again.
It's us in the room now. I said
now we cleared all the way out.
If Dina had any questions, she's gone now.
We had to clear out. All right.
Yeah, they probably had things to go.
I understand.
So
I understand.
good. Every week I think it's gonna go so smooth, and then I'm like.
All right, so we're going to finish this up. So we've gotten as far as I need to make this bottom a little different. It's a question in Facebook? Is this only for invitation or for book covers? Hey, Tara, it's for all of it. This one happens to be a baby invitation. I'll show you in just a second a book cover that I have done for a client already, and she's loving it. I gave her 4 or 5 different variations of the book cover, which you should do if you're going to use this as a side hustle or a actual business. Give them different variations of it. You may see something different that you want, but I guess it could be a book cover if that's what you were into. If that's what you're into. But no, this one is an invitation. Also, inside of Canva and this section down here, they have templates. Meaning, if you think you're not as creative as you actually are, you can use some of these and just take stuff away and then add what information you need to replace it with. Like they did, like here's a save the date. In this situation, look, Theo and Kate are having a baby boy. That could have been placed there if you were like maybe short on words. Just use sometimes the templates, which are really great. Look, we're having a baby girl. Things like that. Like, don't overthink it. Use something simple. That's one of the simplest things I can tell you about design. Don't overthink it, especially being new in design until you get your feet truly wet, and then go from there. Alright, let's see. What we got going on over here? Oh, the date. In the previous one, I put the date and everything in the tub. The tub is not that big in this one, so I can only do like Saturday. Sorry for the keyboard noise. I know that's like I can't help it. October, what'd you say? October 30th. And that's her date. That's not the actual date of the situation, but it is for this. So you can put stuff in the tub, make it bold, overlay, you know, make your duck a little smaller. However you need to do it so that your information is where you need it to be. He's such a cutie. And then you can make it bold. You can use the color scheme to kind of keep everything together. We'll just say, I don't know, pick a time from 4 to 8. I don't know. I ain't been a baby shower in 19 years. 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. I don't have a reason for a baby shower. Alright. You can do it.
Hey, y'all.
Yes?
Can you hear me? Yes. You can hear me?
Uh-huh.
That's weird. It says I'm muted on the thing. That's so weird.
No, you're loud and clear, darling.
So I'm Blondie Luke. This is Blondie Luke here now.
So also you want to add a little bit more information. And so let me make this quick for you. So here is where we wrote some more information. So this is that 3 or 4, you know, less is more, but gives a, you know, we would love. I don't know. Now, it doesn't have to look like this, but, you know, on your invitation, it looks like this. I did a bold, do the effects, and I just left it like that. Like I made it yellow. I apologize. I'm changed the color. And then changing the color. I used the color palette that I already have. I didn't recreate the wheel, so that everything is uniform. Now, one of the things in Canva we do happen to have here, which I tend to love, is the text animation. So let's animate the text. You can use the bounce. You can use the typewriter, or whatever one works for you. All right. I used the bounce. That's what I used for the actual publication. It wasn't enough for me. I felt as though I needed more. And in my midst of feeling as though I needed more, let me show you what I did. I added animation behind it because I knew it was going to go out like a true invitation. So I have these bubbles just going through. You can make them as big or as small as you want. Doesn't really matter. But you want to put it behind your guy. So he just looks like he's just, you know, it's just bubbling through. He's not over top of your tub. Nothing's really in the way. Things of that nature. So I went as far as like, still wasn't enough. Just who I was. So in that form, I did the audio. Never played with audio prior to. So I started playing with it. So I decided I picked this one. Now, mind you, this one isn't from the Pro. Some of the music is definitely a Pro effect. I think they have very few that are free, if any at all. But this is a lot. So you might be able to hear a little bit of the music. Sorry. So at the top is a bar. The bar tells it how much you want to play. So you can move it to where you want it. You can tell it you need it longer. I need it just a tad longer. So you can go up and down the whole scale. Let's pause it. It won't stretch while you're listening to it. Alright, so we want to make this right about this side here. So let's do this. Let me do this music and do it again. For some reason it's not coming out quite right. So you find the point where it would be cute to loop it. There is a way to make this longer, and it's just not acting. It's not acting right. Alright, so we'll leave it here. It's actually pretty good on the loop. So this is what it's done. Let me show you what the whole presentation looks like in a nutshell. So when you send it, they get the music, they get the animated bubbles, all of that good. So this is the invitation. You can do it yourself. Comments. Yeah, you can do it yourself. I enjoy making the invitations. You can also do this for anything you want. Make keepsakes, make intros. Mind you can use video. You can use your own music, do voiceover, things like that. Like you could have said, I got too many microphones going on. But you could have said like, hey, we'd love for you guys to join us for our baby shower, on Saturday, blah, 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 whatever, just to, give it a more of a personal touch. So the music and the animation gives it definitely a beautiful touch. If you wanted to print it, it wouldn't make sense to have the bubbles in the back, but Canva does have the option to print these cards. Now, when you print it, please know, of course, the animation will not come, nor the music. I have to say that as a disclaimer in case someone thought that far. So they offer 50 prints for $28. It'll be a standard form of a card. Then they have the premium, and then they have the deluxe. That's just the type of paper. Please be mindful of that. Then they have the finishes. There's a matte, there's gloss, and it's uncoated. Like matte is more of the cardstock feel. The glossy is more of like, I hate to say it, but like that club like notification where it feels as though, if you were doing outward publications. And there's 50, and then of course there's other numbers. There's 25 and there's 100. And if you need more, there's more to go through. So you can actually make a side hustle out of this. So if it's going to cost you $37 for 50. Mind you, with COVID, things are still taking long. Most things take about at least 2 weeks to still get to you. So if you have a client and they have a baby shower and it's on the rush, you might want to find someone that can print these out faster than you. Also, at that case, you can make it an SVG print, or you can make it a PNG print, depending on how big or how small. You just want to be mindful of what you're printing out. So this is the invitation. Thank you guys for watching me at PNG Creates, as well as looking at this invitation. If you can do it. Yes, I'm really creating live. Baby invitations are my new thing, apparently. I'm enjoying myself doing this, and I think he's so stinking cute. I had to donate to the creator because I just thought he was stinking adorable. I can't create those yet. Maybe I'll get to a point where I'll do that. Next week I'm going to try to try my hand at making a GIF. Yeah, I love babies. They give such a energy with them. They're pheromones. When you step into a room and you see this little laughter and this little smile, you just brighten up instantly. Like, it's just, if you were having a horrible day, put a baby in front of you. You just can't. You can't be upset long. You just can't. So, for those that are following me for the first time, thank you. If you're watching me on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, leave a comment. I'm more than willing to get back to you. If you need some assistance, you can email me at pngcreates. I'm also on Facebook. My PNG Create page on Facebook is actually up. I just don't have a lot of content on it as of yet, but that will be coming soon. But I appreciate you guys for coming and sharing your love with me, and I guess I'll see you next week. All right, family. Yeah. I have to go to Bible study myself.